Hello, 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 everybody, to the Crazy Gamer Twins. This is the last episode for God of War Ragnarok. This will be mini cuts. I have, by the way, counted how many times I died in this game. I am not that good. I've died about like 200 times. No, 225 times in this game. Anyways, some of them are deathless. Some of them were most of them were just the enemies that I don't know how I died to. But there's gonna be many cuts. I'm just going to explore, find some stuff, and then I'll just leave out the Garn and Brock's funeral will be at the end of the video. So it's gonna be a lot of exploring and lots of cutting.
It's strange. There are still signs of the world serpent all over the lake. But we saw him disappear at Ragnarok.
That can only mean the legend was true all along. That blow from Thor sent Jormungandr straight back in time. A younger Jormi, fresh from Jotunheim, would grow into the serpent we know.
When we first met the snake, you said that he found Atreus familiar. Perhaps they met in Jotunheim.
Perhaps so, brother. We'll have to ask the lad for that story when we next see him.
Prepare for a fight.
Save yourself an opening! Don't waste it!
Kratos, the springs! Destroy them!
Nasty hit! You all right, brother? Need to take out those springs, brother!
Freya, something is on your mind. What is it?
Freyr's sword. I'm glad he got it back.
Odin stole it?
Not quite. It couldn't be stolen. It had to be given freely. Freyr had it forged in his younger days, imbued with its own motives and passion. For centuries, he swore he would only ever set it down in death or upon meeting the love of his life. Both he and the sword were romantics, you see. Mimir, there's something I wanted to ask you about. Hildisvini told me about your visit to secure Hel's army, but was reluctant to elaborate when it came to negotiating with Hraesvelgr.
Ah, yes. Well, I can see why he'd hold off on such a subject until he saw if we survived the battle.
Amir, what exactly did you promise the large bird?
Oh, nothing too horrifying. It's just that she'd like to retire.
Retire? Hel's eagle wants to retire?
Indeed. And don't ask me what she expects to do with her free time. I assure you there is no reassuring answer.
Can she even do that? Not be Hel?
Apparently so. She just requires relief. Someone else to step in and become Hel, as it were.
Not now.
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Yelpa! Can't do this without you, Kratos!
Sigillanos can break that shield.
Take care of the rider first!
Another Einherjar! To the left! Behind you, brother! Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost. Well, if there's more of these Asgard fragments out there, the Einherjar will continue to be a nuisance for the realms.
Only if we do nothing. The realms will never heal if they remain.
How many more?
Only one way to find out.
Hi, Kratos.
Would have been a shame to have left that behind.
What is wrong?
No, nothing. It's just, don't know if you've heard, but we're gonna say goodbye to Brock in Svartalfheim.
A funeral?
Yeah. We're meeting at Rab's Tavern in Niedervalir.
We will be there.
Hell of a job you did at Ragnarok, General. Wish I could have been there to see you and Sindri take down Thor and Odin.
That is not what happened.
Yeah, maybe not, but it's the story I like best. Important thing is, Odin's paid in full for what he did to Brock. I know it doesn't fix what's broke, but it ain't nothing.
Hello, Lunda.
Hey, Goddess. About your brother, I never got the chance to tell you. I know moments like this you're supposed to say sorry and whatnot, but I always known that pretty man had greatness in him. That he'd do something amazing one day, and I'm just, I'm proud that now the 9 realms know it too.
I thank you.
Anytime, ma'am.
When Jormungandr attacked Thor in Asgard, it seemed personal somehow. But there's no way they could have met before that, is there?
I've been pondering that, and I have a theory. We know the lad spent his time in Jotunheim learning soul magic. Perhaps the serpent figured in.
You mean Atreus placed some other giant soul into him? Someone who already hated Thor to begin with?
Exactly! Though that doesn't narrow it down much, I grant you. I wonder if Yorm even remembers after all this time who he once was.
Hello, the boss wants to talk to you.
I have retrieved your children.
And finally, my little family is complete.
Hello, Ratatoskr.
Hello, Master Kratos. What you've accomplished for these realms is truly something I never thought possible. Rest assured, good Master Brock would be proud beyond measure, even if only to express it in his love language of profane non-sequiturs. But he is terribly missed.
Yes, he is.
Now, there is one rather interesting development to apprise you of. The detonation of Asgard shook the world tree to its very roots, dislodging a great number of realm seeds. I thought you might wish to have them. My little way of saying, thank you for preventing my death by immolation.
You are welcome.
Now, what else might there be to discuss?
There is one thing I'd like to know.
Obviously, the time has come to talk about me.
It most certainly has not.
What? Why not? How dare you belittle my accomplishments?
I apologize for arrogance. His volume has only increased over the years.
And why shouldn't it? I single-handedly take care of the ding-dang world tree. Without your boy here, the realms would rot off the branches before you can say ingratitude.
He does have a point. Tending to the world tree all on your own, it's no small task.
Of course he's got a point, my dear Mimir. But singing your own praises, it's awfully gauche, isn't it?
Who the hell else is gonna sing them?
And your question was?
Oh, I've utterly forgotten.
Splendid. Until next time, then. Should I have anything else for you, you'll be the first to know.
Freya, here. did not think anything grew here.
Do you hear that? Someone's crying.
Sinmara.
Ah, Surtur's love. Should we try to tell her what happened?
She knows. But brave still. Another berserker to fight.
You then, Yaneri. Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Kratos, are you okay? Kratos, we need you!
You then, Yaneri.
You're dead! Come on!
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost. Nasty hit. You all right, brother?
This was the last, was it not? Only the king remains.
Aye, and if you thought his berserkers were tough, well, I've been thinking about what you said, brother. Maybe it's time to let this go. Slurping up a dead man's soul with this old sword isn't going to change the past.
It is good to hear you say that. But I plan to face him regardless.
What? After all your lecturing on vengeance and spite?
It is not wise to let a malevolent spirit wander Midgard. But I needed to know you wanted this for the right reasons.
Huh. Appreciate the sentiment, brother.
Freya, you spoke of your brother's sword. How did Odin acquire it?
I'll answer this one. Odin disguised himself as the most beautiful person Freyr had ever seen.
This separated Freyr from his sword.
Oh, with embarrassing speed.
I am glad Freyr ultimately retrieved it.
Me too. My little fool.
Freya, when Hildisvini went to Helheim, how did he not freeze to death?
A perk of the Jofer.
The boar-shifting warriors of Vanaheim, as wise in statecraft as they are deadly on the battlefield.
So they may shift into whatever form they like.
Sure, so long as the only two shapes they'd like to shift into are human and boar.
Near the little shop I'm running out in the
Is
Alpine
this?
Desert.
Ravens, the
Something
ones
y'all
we've been
are
destroying.
probably
Odin's little spies.
Mother and father perished at last. Finally now, our anguish may pass.
Aha! Another fallen piece of Asgard. Something seems a bit different about this one.
Different.
Dunno. I've just a funny feeling.
Your analytical mind knows no.
Hang on a minute. Is this a prison?
It would seem so.
Let's continue. Might be something useful inside. This place goes deep. We should head downward.
Ah, yes. I'm sure there's nothing especially dangerous at the bottom of an Asgardian prison.
Yeah, and my whole screen just darkened up a bit, and I don't know why.
If the Einherjar survived Ragnarok, perhaps some of the inmates did as well.
Let us find out.
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost. Careful, brother. These prisoners may not be as grateful for their freedom as one would hope. Oh, well, you're very well. That's an elf, but not a particularly high-ranking one. So what did Odin have to gain by imprisoning them?
I'd say information, but why keep them locked up afterward? Why not just kill them?
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost. Aye, give him what for.
don't know. A gardener, perhaps? Dreamshade is difficult to keep alive, even under the best conditions, but this... He gave all his strength to keep it alive.
Then it is right. You should have it.
Freya! I can't believe it.
Wait, that can't be. Lord Tyr.
Is this an illusion?
No, brother. No, I think it's the real deal.
Mimir? Is that you, old friend?
In all the important ways, aye.
There was such a commotion. If Odin learns what you've done...
Odin is dead.
The realms are at last free of him. You're safe.
Odin's dead.
And Asgard fallen.
So the reign of the Aesir is truly over. That's quite a lot to take in. And you are?
His name is Kratos.
Kratos. I know that name.
Come. You need real shelter. Food.
No. No, what I need most now, I think, is to reflect on what you've told me. I need space, if you would grant me that.
Very well. Our home is in the realm between realms for the moment. You can find us there when you're ready.
Kratos. I know you from somewhere. I'm sure it will come back to me.
Until then. You believe that was truly him?
It's hard to trust anything after what we've been through. But with Odin gone, I've no cause to doubt it.
Our paths will cross again. Of that I'm sure. Where to now?
Well, now we know what this prison's for. This is where Odin stashed those he would camouflage himself as.
Makes sense. If you're going to imitate someone, you wouldn't want them walking around.
Why not kill them?
He must need them alive in order to assume their form.
Aye. Odin likely wanted Tyr dead for a multitude of reasons. But he knew Tyr would be more useful alive.
Your god of war has truly returned. What now?
He'll want to stretch his legs, I imagine. Imprisonment stokes wanderlust. Not that I need to remind any of us of that.
Hey, you know that shop in the Alpine Desert? Something you might want to see out there. This here's the fun part.
If I had a stomach, it'd be twisting right now.
Odin is gone. There's no remaining threat.
No, it's from excitement. Hardly any non-giants have gotten the great privilege of visiting the realm of the Jotnar.
It's truly an honor to be among a very select few. So this is Jotunheim.
As beautiful as the stories. And then some.
Freya, the flower.
Took you long enough.
Flower.
Incredible.
Company's here, Finn.
Angerboda,
Kratos, Mimir, Freya. It's good to see you.
I wish to thank you for creating a path out of Asgard for us.
Aye, a true pleasure to meet the lassie who saved our skins.
Indeed. Your giant stuff magic is truly a marvel.
We were so glad we got there in time. Freya, your brother's sacrifice won't be forgotten.
It won't.
I will say, you've made quite the impression on our Atreus' heart.
Mimir,
Oh, like you weren't thinking it, brother.
Ahem. You're a cherished ally, Angerboda. I hope we cross paths again.
I imagine we will. There's lots to do, and I'm just getting started.
boy.
Kratos, the last time you were here was because of Faye, right?
You saw this in prophecy.
Your son told me. It's a beautiful place to rest.
It is what she wished. You painted these shrines.
Some of them. Some I finished for my mother.
Your work is beautiful.
Your skill with a brush is unmatched, Angerboda.
My son. He draws.
He told me.
Although he'd do well to learn from your use of color.
We come from a long line of artisans, so he has it in him. He just needs some discipline to bring it out.
I like you. Angerboda. last giant left in Jotunheim?
No, actually. My grandmother, Gryla. She's, not really one for visitors, but she's still here. She's helping me forage at the moment.
After all you've done, lass, she must be so proud to have a granddaughter such as yourself.
She might be. Someday. I don't know quite yet, but I think it's a start.
I look forward to exploring Alfheim and not having to fight elves.
Oh? What makes you think that's an option?
They've united, haven't they? What possible reason would they have to attack us?
Sorry to say, but there are still plenty of elves out in the Barrens eager for conflict.
But why? Freyr united them. They fought together at Ragnarok.
For those who have spent their lives in combat, peace is not always an option.
Use a shield strike!
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost!
Get the old way!
Left side, brother!
I don't understand why they keep fighting. Can't they sense Odin is dead?
They are soldiers. They will always be loyal to him, alive or dead. It is a matter of honor.
Yes, they will continue to follow his orders and keep the realms under his thumb.
Not for long, they won't.
Freyr. He forged a piece.
Of a sort.
Wish I could have seen that.
I'm sure he wished the same.
If you'll... excuse me.
Perhaps later.
I see.
I knew he'd left something behind.
Oh, good timing. Remember that thing I said you was gonna want to see? You better go feast your peepers before it's over.
Wait a bloody moment. Is that?
Thor's hammer. And his daughter.
I'll make you proud, Dad.
Well, good for her.
So let me see if I understand. We're expected to find someone to relieve Hrasfelder and become Hell? Not exactly an office many would wish to occupy.
Aye. Terrible weather, infinite hours, and the possibility of unleashing terrible mischief on the realms if they're careless. Or worse, if they aren't completely trustworthy.
But if she were to leave without a replacement?
Complete chaos, yes.
Well, I'm sorry I asked.
Careful, brother. You're covered in bifrost. Kill that one, brother. Destroyed. Where will the Einherjar go?
Valhalla exists both inside and outside of Asgard. Who knows what became of it?
Aye. Suppose they'll have to find rest somewhere. Freyr, I've always wondered, why was Freyr so revered here so quickly upon his first arrival?
Well, to begin with, it wasn't his first arrival. Very few know this, but Freyr was one of the earliest visitors to Alfheim, back in the dawn of realm travel.
Oh, bit before my time. Do tell.
We believed for a long time that all the giants had died in the flood, until one of them appeared in Vanaheim. Her name was Gerd, and she came offering to teach us the secrets of traveling between realms using Bifrost light. Freyr became immediately infatuated with her. He always yearned to wander, and along came someone who could truly show him how. So, wander they did, exploring the world tree from root to branch. But one day, it came time for Gerd to wander away. Freyr was heartbroken, and resolved himself to perform some great feat to win her back. He set his aim on the grandest of gestures. He intended to be the first to find the elusive source of Bifrost light. And he succeeded, although quite by accident. Freyr believed he navigated best while fortified by a potent blend of Vanir herbs. When he wandered, he wandered. And he managed to wander from the World Tree directly into the Lake of Souls. The elves have never seen anybody come out of the lake before, so it got some attention.
Oh, that is bloody hilarious.
I don't know whether he worked his charms at that point or they just assumed him to be a great deity. But of course, he hadn't made this journey in search of responsibility, so he didn't stick around long. Still, the legend of his manifestation was passed along through the ages. It even endured after the Great Division, remembered by light and dark elf alike. So when at last he returned, he was uniquely situated to gain the trust of both sides and help to create a truce. The problem was, both sides trusted only him, so the peace could only last as long as he stayed around to keep it. And with the long war dragging on without an end in sight, I suppose making any kind of peace was an irresistible notion for him, even if it meant having to rule. To Vanaheim, then.
Sounded like Lady Sif managed to convince the old boar to shelter the Aesir refugees.
It was his idea.
Oh?
To foster peace among the Vanir and Aesir.
That's brilliant. Shifty bastard must be trying to prove he can out-diplomat me.
At least he's not convincing her to marry someone, like some other diplomats would.
A deservedly low blow, Your Majesty.
Anytime.
You know, back in Jotunheim, I had half a mind to ask Angerboda what exactly her intentions were with the lad. But one look at her and any doubts I had melted away.
It's a question every parent must grapple with sooner or later.
I trusted her with my life. I trust her with my son.
You can't argue with that. Brother, I've heard my share of stories about your homeland, but I'd also heard that you once fought in a tournament.
I fought in many contests.
But this particular one, I heard you did battle with beasts, scoundrels, princesses, the undead, automatons, and history's greatest musician. That's not true, is it?
I would not speak of this.
Fair enough, brother.
Here. You may tell a story, if you wish.
Am I preferable to silence at last? A rare day. I'm touched. But since you mention it, there has been one on my mind of late. It goes back to my earliest days, when I had little more to do than observe the mortals who passed through our forest. One summer, a local laird of renowned eccentricity chose to sequester himself with a small coterie of kinsmen and followers. The aim of their woodland retreat was to achieve enlightenment through study and discipline. They took oaths to brook no distractions until they became wise men.
Distractions?
Aye, women, drink, mostly women. As you can imagine, things deteriorated quickly. By autumn, tempers were frayed and wisdom remained in short supply. One day, I watched as the laird and his brother took their hunt. There they found, at the banks of a river, a lady as fair as any they'd left behind. She pleads for their assistance for fear the currents would carry her off if she tried to cross. The laird doesn't miss a beat. He hoists her onto his shoulders, carries her across, sets her down, doffs his cap, and fords back across to his brother, who is dumbfounded, can't even bring himself to speak. The day stretches on, the laird carries on hunting, and his brother quietly gnashes his teeth down to powder. Finally, the dam breaks. "Brother," he cries, "how could you do it after everything we've sacrificed? How could you break your vow like it was nothing, carrying that lass on your shoulders like you were a Shetland pony?" The laird just smiles. "Brother, I sent that lass down across the river. 'Tis you that carries her still." Oh, I got a chuckle. A rare day indeed.
I'm glad we can help these Einherjar on their way, even if they hate us for it.
They do not need to spend their afterlife serving a cruel god any longer.
Agreed.
guarding security.
An equal force of Vanir?
Kratos,
and aim.
Freya, welcome back. Mimir,
Lady Sif,
Freya.
it speaks volumes seeing you here in person. The first of the Aesir to visit us in peace.
Really, Your Majesty?
It's the capacity of the Vanir's forgiveness that speaks volumes.
we know Asgard was more than Odin and his Einherjar. If they'll help us rebuild, they're more than welcome to stay.
Aesir and Vanir living together. I never thought it possible.
I imagine a severe lack of options for the Aesir helped ease things along.
Oh, Mimir. It has truly been a pleasure not listening to your prattling commentary for the last 100 winters.
Well, excuse me, milady.
100 winters of Mimir bleating at court? I think I'd rather be exiled.
Indeed. Oh, the stories I have.
Really? Do tell.
Well, everything appears to be in order here, diplomacy administered, and all's well. Let's leave these two to their planning, shall we?
Back to it then. Where can we set up the farmsteads and the granaries?
We don't do that kind of thing. This realm provides us what we need.
What if the winter is harsh, or if the food spoils?
Then we hunger. And we learn. Perhaps I did not burn.
You saved them, Freya.
I did nothing.
No, I did nothing. Scratching tally marks into a cell while the world ended around me. You returned to your people. You endured their hatred. You helped them become more.
Freyr and his soldiers.
They survived. They endured. But there's a reason the tide turned when the goddess Freya returned home. Your love of this place. I can feel it. Smell it in the breeze. Anyone can. That love makes you strong. Makes your people strong. It's why you won.
Thank you. I wonder how many of these fragments of Asgard there are.
A realm's worth at least, so I'd say we have our work cut out for us.
Incoming! Above
Fuel strike, now!
There's frost in my neck stump!
Another camp defeated.
Aye, and one step closer to giving the realms a shot at healing.
It does not.
We're heading back to Charlie?
Yes.
He's not going to be very happy with me.
No.
Charlie. I'm sorry, I have no excuse for neglecting you. I will do my best to earn it.
Freya, look.
Merkweed. I know, but I can't stay. There's still things I must do. Kratos, I should look for someone who can watch over him. Permanently.
Watch out! Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost. It seems for every camp we destroy, we find 2 more.
It's almost impressive.
It is gone.
I think the Norns are quite done with us, brother. King Hrolf's gravestone. It's reformed. Guess there's only one thing left to do.
Oh boy, here we go.
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Know your place.
Brother, get up, brother.
You can't have it.
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
mine. You can't have it.
Careful, brother. It's covered in fire rod. Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Kneel before
Nasty hit. You're away from us. Behind you, watch out! Behind you, brother! Thank you, brother. Still not sure if that was justice or vengeance.
The two are not always at odds.
What do you intend to do with Skofnung now?
I intend to use it.
No! Don't you understand the legacy that thing carries? Not to mention the souls of evil berserkers.
I will use it for good.
That won't erase its history.
No. But the story of this sword is still being written. Future generations will weigh its good deeds against the bad and decide for themselves.
You've come a long way from when I first met you, brother.
I have had good counsel since then, brother.
have brought a pail of water. Or 20. Quality stuff for you. Very fierce. This here's the fun part. Oh, heading up already? Got time to chat?
Traitor! Gná. She's fierce. Attack only if you think we are ready.
I'm ready, so I'm gonna fight her now.
Good! I'll see you pay for what you've done! Kneel! Rise! Rise!
Soundstone!
Die!
You see, it's over! There's no need for this!
Careful, brother. You're covered in bygones.
Unworthy!
Getting someone?
Kneel! Asgard's You abandoned me! Rise! Rise!
We've both been blinded by Odin! It doesn't have to end this way! Get out of there!
He's on you! You deserve to be alone. Submit! Asgard's blood! Let's settle this. Good. I'll see you pay for what you've done.
There's frost in my neck stump.
Submit! Breathe in fire! Asgard's life is on! Rise! Rise!
Don't you see it's over? There's no need for this.
Asgard's blood is on! Kneel!
We've both been blinded by Odin. It doesn't have to end this way. Left flank!
Submit! Submit! God of no one! This was inevitable! So is this! Asgard's blood is on
Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost.
Your shield broken.
Asgard's blood is on You deserve to suffer! Submit! Asgard's blood is on... For Asgard! For Asgard! Kneel! Asgard's blood is on you!
Yelpa!
You judge me,
You are a pain of my existence.
whose cowardice has left entire realms in ruin. Sister, I know the hate that burns you from within. I have felt those flames, known the comfort of their warmth. I wronged you. And I cannot change that. Never apologize enough for it. But the hatred, vengeance, you have to let it go. Finish it. Yes, sister.
Freya, I'm sorry it came to that.
I gave her what she wanted. Thank you.
So then, how's it feel being Queen of the Valkyries once more?
Queen. Why? There are no Valkyries left.
The Shield Maidens. Will you not lead them? Or rebuild?
Maybe. It would be the first time in a while I have something truly moving. We'll see.
Feels half crazy to say it, but I've got a good feeling about that Thrud girl. Never minding what family she came from.
I quite agree. She's an impressive young woman.
I thought you might. Why, I ain't never seen anyone quite so awestruck as when she laid eyes on you back at the hole. Like meeting her idol.
She was apparently quite eager to learn from all the Valkyries. Now that she has Mjolnir, I expect her next stop will be to begin training with Sigrun.
I think Brock and Sindri would be happy knowing that hammer's finally with someone worthy to wield it. And a future Valkyrie, no less.
I see another realm tear from Garm. Shall we close it? Lassa.
This is not over.
Nasty hit! You all right, brother? All of Garm's handiwork has been fixed.
Good. I am glad.
Well, how about that?
Atreus would be happy to know we tied up some of his loose ends.
Perhaps we should let Hrasvolgar know.
Perhaps.
This is truly thankless work.
It must be done.
I'm sure the civilians were protecting would thank us. Well, thank both of you. Me, they would just point at and scream. Good thing you learned the runes, brother. Well, shame that's the last of Kvasir's poems.
Why not write your own?
Been a while since I dipped my quill into the ink pot of poetry, but maybe it's time to try again. Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost. Oh, this is a fine mess.
X needed an upgrade? Oh, this is real good for wood. Better for bone. You need any more? Y'all know where to find me.
On your right! Careful, brother. You're covered in Bifrost. Behind you! Well done. Though I don't suppose more violence in the streets will convince the citizenry that it's safe to emerge.
Profane alternate lyrics to my ballads. Absolutely disgusting. But now I wish I could remember some of them.
The paperwork that man created for me. I had to build a chest just for his violations. A big one.
I taught him 20 different ways to cold forge a bolster. Once, he taught me a slightly easier method of wire pulling, and from that day on called me his apprentice.
A true asshole he was. Gods, I'm gonna miss him.
Hi, y'all made it. Just about to send him off.
I have met many on my travels. You are one of the few I would call friend.
I always thought you were one of the dumbest creatures I'd ever met. Didn't expect you to be the bravest, too.
This world is a darker place for your leaving it.
We're taking him to the Sverd Sands. It's, in the wetlands near the ferry. We'll wait for you there.
Le Sarmu Kifa. She knew the tears were closed. And there's no reward for closing them, I'm afraid.
We expected none.
Well, then I wouldn't advise staying. She is a corpse eater after all.
We'll be going then. I feel bad for the Asgardians, and even worse for the Midgardian refugees. Learning the god they indebted themselves to didn't care for them at all. Such a profound betrayal.
Aye. Their homes will not be the only thing they will be rebuilding.
On your right!
I believe that was the last stronghold of the Aesir.
So, Odin's oppressive ways have finally ended.
Are you satisfied?
Yes. Perhaps the realms may finally find peace and healing. Good thing we didn't miss this.
Why, that's the dwarven sound device Sindri used during the Battle of Ragnarok. We might still find use for it yet.
is wrong?
I should have changed. Sewn some mourning garb. We're not dressed properly.
We're fine. The dwarves don't typically require formal wear at funerals.
Brock certainly would not.
Perhaps.
Phil, now you've got me thinking of what I might look like with some jewellery around my neck stump. Maybe some gold woven into my beard. That'd be quite fetching, eh?
Thanks for trying.
There they are, brother.
Oh, come on, surely he'll be along. It's his brother.
Let's hope so. Loss can do things to a man. You made it. We can begin. I love you, Brooke.
Sindri. Brock was...
gets bigger the more you take away.
Thank you for watching my God of War Ragnarok gameplay. I know there will be the third one coming up, no, the sixth one coming up soon. So stay tuned for that one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
That keeps to his own line.
'I don't know if there's anything beyond the light. Afterlives after afterlives or whatever you... But if there is, I imagine he's causing one crazy ruckus there.
I wrote that dirge for him.
What's it called?
Something profane.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
Forgive Sindri. He's just, I mean, you know.
%, Ragnarok. Yes, sir.
And I am so sorry that this video took so long to do. I was very busy and a lot of stuff that had a lot of delays. Oh man, it took a while to edit and I'm the worst one. Thank you for watching again. Goodbye.